Hi, everyone. This is a little reflection for Columbus Day, without getting into the whole controversy of Columbus. But this is a little reflection to give on this day of Columbus. You remember the story in the book of Exodus when God got in touch with Moses. He wanted to free his people from the slavery of Egypt, and so he wanted Moses to do that. And so he contacted Moses, and he contacted Moses from a bush, burning bush, but a bush nonetheless. And a disciple asked the rabbi one day, hey, if God was going to contact Moses at this really important moment when he was going to free his people, why didn't he talk to him from a temple or from a mountaintop or from some beautiful place, but a bush? And the rabbi said, God spoke to Moses from the bush so that his people would know that he could speak to them from anywhere. And this is a story of how God speaks anywhere. It was 1882 in the basement of a church, St. Mary's in New Haven, Connecticut. And there was a young priest called, his name was Father Michael McGivney. And he had this idea, just a little idea, that he would form a fraternity of men in the parish whose job it was to take care of the poor, because he had a lot of poor people in his parish who couldn't afford food, couldn't afford, rent. And so he wanted to form this group of men who would dedicate themselves to helping the poor. He called them the Knights of Columbus. And God spoke to him about that. And Michael McGivney died at the age of 38 from the flu. But in 1882, before he died, he formed this group. And they're trying to get him canonized. And if they ever canonize Father Michael McGivney, he will be the first man born in the United States to be a saint. But anyway, he formed this little group called the Knights of Columbus, and it exploded. So that today it is the largest charitable fraternal organization in the Catholic Church. Over 2 million people belong to the Knights of Columbus. And in the last decade, they have donated $1.5 billion to all these different charitable causes. So God spoke to Moses from a bush, and the result of that was to free his people from Egypt. And God spoke to Michael McGivney in the basement of St. Mary's, and what came out of that was this huge organization. We have it here at St. Ferdinand's, there at St. Gregory's, Holy Redeemer, the Knights of Columbus. There was this monastery that was really noted for its hospitality, that its doors were always open for the stranger and for those who needed help. And one day the abbot, the head of the monastery, was praying, and an angel appeared to him. And he was so caught up in this vision of the angel. And there was a knock at the door. And he knew what it was. He knew that it was someone who needed help. And he thought to himself, if I go and answer the door, the angel's going to go away. But he knew what he had to do, and he went and answered the door and helped the person, and then came back, and the angel was still there. And the angel said to him, if you would not have answered that door, I would have had to leave. Because in helping people, we entertain angels. And Father McGivney entertained angels by forming the great organization called the Knights of Columbus, which we celebrate all the time, but especially on Columbus Day. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.